Okay, this little video here is going to show you how to tension a belt properly. All right, what am I talking about? Well, this needs to be tight enough to basically hold around the sheave or pulley, but not so loose that it's going to be flopping around. Okay, so we need to figure out where that's supposed to be. Now, there are specific calculations for this, but we're going to use this little tool here and the way they use it. They have a chart for it. This is Goodyear's tool for doing the chain tensioning. Or I'm sorry, the belt tensioning. But again, remember, this is not the way, this is a way of doing it. But really, I want to show you how to use this particular tool. So we have other calculations. We're just going to play with this one right now. All right, so a few things. First thing is, I need to know roughly what the distance is away, apart from my shafts here. So I'm going to go from here to here, and I got 13 inches. Okay, 13 inches is important because now I need to set the back side of this. So you can see that inch to span or centimeters, we're going to go inches here. If that's 50, that's 40, 30, 20, 10. Okay, so we're in between 10 and 20, so we're going to be right around in this range here with our little O-ring. That's important because that's going to show us when we push how far we need it to deflect. Now, how many pounds does it take to get it to deflect is really what the key is. So if I go here and look at my chart, it may be difficult for you to see, but I'm using a B belt, okay, and my smallest sheave over here falls in the range of 4.5 inches to 5.5 inches, and I'm running at about 1725, so that's 5.3 pounds, okay, so that's really what I'm shooting for. And how I achieve that is as I push here, okay, to get the deflection, then I'll read this because it pushes my O-ring up, and you can see how many pounds I actually force down on this. Okay, so that's kind of how it works. So the best thing to do is to show it actually working, so it will make a little bit more sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go about in the middle, and if you need to, you can go, all right, well, that's 13 inches, so that's what, 6.5. And you can find the spot there, but essentially what you're going to want to do is rest this here, use the tool and push down until that O-ring breaks the plane of the bottom, okay? So what essentially is happening is the distance between here and here should be how far this is moving. And once you've done that, you can go back and take a look at where your O-ring sits, all right? So I've moved that, so I'm gonna do this again. That way you can see it and I can see as well. So we're gonna get about in the middle. I'm gonna push this down to deflect as far as I need. I'm going to go back and read the number of pounds, and I'm sitting at just over 5 pounds. My O-ring made it to 5 pounds. So in the case of this is exactly where it needs to be for the most part. And if for some reason that I got my deflection and I didn't have enough pounds here, okay, then that would mean that I didn't have to push hard enough, so that means that it would be too slack, and what I would need to do is actually adjust this to where it's tightening it up. But if it took a lot more force, like if I was up into this range here of what, 15 pounds, and before I actually got that little bit of deflection, then I would have to loosen this up because it's really too tight, and that's going to cause premature wear. All right. So not the tool, but a tool for doing tension.